Good evening, everybody. Welcome along. Wednesday, the 19th of August, 6:15. It's our Wednesday evening circuit. As always, we've got three options per station for you, and 7 stations for you to do. We're going to warm ourselves up firstly, and then we'll go from there. Your options are you will have an easy option, an intermediate option, and a higher option as well. This week we are based on sports. So you've got a sports theme for this week, so bowls, golf, football, basketball, rugby, boxing and volleyball. The team are all here, look, there we go, there's Lee on the run already, trying to escape. So let's get ourselves warmed up firstly, so let's have a march on the spot. Lifting those feet off the floor, coming down onto the ball of the foot firstly, rolling through to your heels for me. Staying strong. Think about your posture, your shoulders are up, back and down, squeeze together. So we've got a good strong posture and lengthen through your neck, okay? So if you think about a puppet, piece of string pulling you tall from your head, so you're standing nice and tall for me. There we go, there's Lee just practicing his magical movements from last week. He was there doing it on Friday with me. Right, so from there, let's put an arm swing in as well, marching from your shoulders. So there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. We'll start with the wrong way, which is no, you fine, Lee. What I want you to focus on is the movement from your shoulder. Yeah. So Lee's fine as well. I'm only taking the big out, Lee. But it's, can you see how the drive is from the shoulder? The drive is from the shoulder. And you're swinging that arm forward and back. I think last week I said Lee always reminded me when he does that move of, when you come out of the club at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I've just decided he's that annoying person who's in front of you when you go to a live gig, isn't he? He's swaying with their arms all over the place. Lovely. Okay, from there, let's dig the heels in front. So dig the heel, bring it back in. Excuse me. And put an arm movement in there for me as well. So put a bicep curl and bringing the elbows staying level with your shoulders, bringing the arms up towards your hands up towards your shoulders. And then from there, come back into your march. And then let's kick the heels up behind us. So kicking the heel up in towards your bump. Shifting that weight from side to side. This is something we do in everyday life all the time. As you walk, you shift your weight from side to side. So it's always good to practice this movement. It's also going to help loosen off your joints, loosen off your knees, lengthen through those quads at the front of your leg. Take it into a knee lift for me. So we work into the hamstrings at the back and also into our hip flexors. Now your hip flexor is where all the movement happens. So when you start to walk, it's your hip flexor that kicks the movement off. It's your hip flexor that kicks the movement off when you climb the stairs, get into the car, into the bath, out of the bath, anything like that. So really good muscle to make sure we keep mobile. All right, take it from there to shoulders width, and let's have a trunk rotation through the center. So rotate your trunk. Try and keep your hips locked towards the front. So you're just turning and with control. Have a little pause in the middle so you reset. Yeah, so don't make it a wild swing from side to side. Just rotating. Lovely job. And then while we're there, pause in the center and let's come down to one side and back up. Straight down, straight up. So imagine yourself as a piece of toast in a toaster. And that only movement you have is down and up. It's almost as bad as the between two panes of glass. How do you explain it? I usually say between 2 panes of glass. I thought I'll try a different analogy today. You're a piece of toast. You could be wholemeal, you could be granary, you could be whatever you want, I don't care. But I want you to just focus on that straight down and straight up motion for me. Okay, brilliant. From there, come back into a march. Let's bring that knee lift back in and take a hand across. Opposite hand to opposite knee for me. As you do that, lovely job. Keep going, keep focusing. Now focus on your breathing for me here as well. So good regular breathing, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Lovely job. From there, take it to shoulders width again. Let's have a little knee bend down and up. And keep going with that for me. Brilliant. All right, hold it there. Grab hold of a wall if you need to for support and take your leg across the body. If you feel stable, you can grab hold of anything. Just ask permission first. Depending on what it is you're holding on to. But take that leg across the body. And then change to the other side for me. Brilliant. Excellent. Okay, from there, come back into a march. Let's take those arms out in front. So punch out in front for me. Mobilise through those shoulders. Trying to keep them about shoulder width or shoulder height if you can. At least just have a look outside. Should we have a look outside? Let's see what's going on. He's easily distracted, aren't you, Lee?
I can.
Same as me, Lee. Same as me. I want to know what's going on around me. Okay, from there, bring it back in. Let's take those heels up towards the bum again, but take your opposite hand to opposite leg. This should be good. Did you see the penny? Did you see the penny drop there? Like the cogs started to go then. Right, okay, I've got it. I'm off. Oh, poor Lee. It's past his bedtime, really, isn't it? You know I'm only joking, Lee, don't you? Yeah, I'm only joking. You know if I was serious. Okay, bring it back into your march for me, and let's take some circle arms in there.
Walk yourself around, you know.
It's like to stay mobile, don't you?
Use your spine.
Okay, and from there, bring it down. Let's lift the shoulders towards the ears and come back down. Lift towards your ears and come back down, keeping those feet moving. Take you into a little paddle of your feet this time, actually. So keep the balls of the feet down on the floor and power up through it, alternating your legs, yeah? And then try and focus on keeping your hips still as well, so you really feel it into your calves. We're not even going to go over this side as far as this move's concerned. Lovely. Okay, from there, come into a march. Great job. Keep going. All right, holding on again if you need to. Let's bring that foot up in front and back. So swing forward and backwards. If you can do it without support, then feel free. You might just want to have something close to you. Sometimes just a finger placement onto a wall or something if you feel unbalanced is going to help you regain your balance. Yeah, you don't have to have it as a continuous movement. You can pause in the centre, as demonstrated by Lee here. So that's your option as well, okay? What we're trying to do is just really mobilise through that leg. Now switch to your other leg. So exactly the same on the other side, that swing through if you can. And if you have a look here, we'll come across to Ben and to Nathan. Can you see the swing through the hip? So both there, look, swinging from the hip, trying to keep the upper body still, then upright and swinging through that hip. So it's not a tilt forward and a tip back, okay? The swing happens at the hip. That's it. Come back in with the march. Brilliant. And then give me some swimming arms. So take those arms through. Over the top. And over. Rotating through the shoulders again. Okay, from there, come back into a march. You can step forward and step back and change leg every time. So step forward on one foot, step back. Now when you come forward, plant the heel, come through to the ball of the foot and onto your toes at the back, then power back up to a standing position again, yeah? Placing that foot down, doesn't have to be a lunge in there, just a little step forward and a step back. We'll bring the lunge in later when we actually get to one of our stations. Okay, so remember, have drinks available, have yourself something so you can get hydrated, go into a march for me, and let's get ourselves ready to go. Right, so you need to make sure that you do have some fluid available, some water. Get yourself a towel available if you want as well. If it's warm, then you need to keep yourself hydrated. What I mean by if it's warm, if you're warm, keep fluid in there, okay? Right, we're going to start with station number 1, which is bowls. So it's a sports-based theme this week. So Ben is in our easy station, and there's that movement you've just been doing, but with the forearm coming through, yeah? Lovely. And then we come to Nathan, who's in our intermediate position here. There's a weight added in there as well. I'm changing weight every time, okay? If you had two weights and you want to keep a weight in the other hand, you can do, but that change of weight from side to side is going to add a bit of a rotation there for you as well. Then we come to our higher option with Lee, and you can see here it's an actual lunge, okay? So there's a pause there and a lunge down into it. Okay, let's get the timer out, let's get ourselves ready to go. Station number 1, are you ready? A minute, and off we go. So, let's have a look at the foot position here. Can you see, as they step forward, everybody's coming onto their heel first, and then coming through to their ball of the foot and then to the toes. Have a look at the knee position as well. So that knee at the front never goes further forward than the shoes, yeah? Back is upright, and we've got a weight added in here. Changing leg and changing arm every time. Now the arm that comes forward is the opposite arm to the leg, okay? So that helps as far as your balance is concerned. You've got 30 seconds to go. And this one here, have the little pause there. So step in, then give yourself a lunge as you come down into it. Remember, you can easily swap. So if you're in a higher position first and you want to bring it down to the medium, you just take that pause and the deeper lunge out. Likewise, if you want to go up, you can add that in. Keep focusing on your upright posture as well there. So think about your back. Keep the shoulders back, keep lengthened through the upper body, so you've got a good strong posture there. That is your minute up, okay? So we're going to move on. Our second station is going to be based on golf, okay? So, we come to station number 1, or not station number 1, option number 1, which is our easier option. And this is Lee, so that swing there, look. Okay, and it's playing a front hole and the back hole here, because he's going backwards on this as well. So we've got the swing from the centre upwards, yeah? Have a look at the foot placement. Again, he's coming onto that toe, yeah? And twisting through. We bring it to our intermediate option, and keeping that flow going. So rather than just going on one side, we're taking it from side to side. A bit more continuous here, so there's not that little pause in the middle to reset, but still we're coming onto that toe, so there's the rotation through the knee joint. And then we come to our higher option here, which is Nathan, who's got that little kick of the leg out behind. That's lovely. Looks like an old film, so you're in love there. The arm, leg coming up behind. Oh, I'm in love. Okay, you ready? Let's go! Why did that happen? In older films, whenever a couple kissed, the woman's leg would go up behind, wouldn't it? I've never met a lady where that happens. Lovely. There we go. Brilliant. But in all seriousness, here, if we take it back to Nathan, what's happening here is you're creating a balance situation there as well. So shifting the weight onto that leg. Make sure the leg that's supporting has got a slight bend in the knee still. And again, it's the leg that you're swinging with. Okay, so you can see as he takes the ball across, that's the leg that he balances on. So he's not throwing himself off balance. Thank you, Nathan. There's Ben with his continuous swing. Again, have a look at the foot. This is really important. So as you swing across, because you've got that rotation in your hips, coming onto the toes so that you don't twist through the knee. If we were to keep the hips locked, then we would stay with our feet on the floor. Football is our station number 3. So, again, our easy, our medium, and our hard option. So here we go with our easy option. And this is that swing that we did at the front, yeah? So in our warm-up, we did this swing forward. So stepping from side to side, so you've got that weight transfer, and then that leg coming up in front, okay? We come to our intermediate option, which is Lee. And we've got that step to the side, and that kick, and it's more of a diagonal kick this time. Yeah, and then we come to Ben. And we've got the squat in there in the middle as well. So a squat and a kick across to the side. Yep. Knee stays soft on the balancing leg. Brilliant. Okay, take it to the left knee foot cuddle. Now this is a great one, as we did last week, because last Tuesday we had some of these moves. And if you go up and down through the levels without actually having to change much. Okay, you ready? Let's go. So there's no weight involved. So if you want to move from easy to medium to hard, it's easy to do. Look at what I meant here with this, and I said that they were going diagonally above there. Can you see how Nathan's is more to the front? There's a slight diagonal movement in there, but it's more towards the front. Whereas here, on our medium option and on our harder option, there's a diagonal swing across from that leg. Foot still staying firmly on the floor, so you've got that balance, and the knees still staying soft. It's not about a deep squat into this, it's about that squatting motion that's in there. Now, as you come out of your squat, power through. So push the weight up through your heels to power through and lift the leg up for me from the hip. Have a look, sideways on. So can you see sideways on? I hope you can see that because I'm holding the phone out at a length here. Can you see how the back is staying straight? And if I come this way, again, you can see the back staying straight as far as Nathan and Lee is concerned. It's really important that you do that. Station number 3 is done. Basketball, this is going to be good. We're on to our basketball now then. So, think Harlem Globetrotters. So, first of all, from the Harlem Globetrotters, we have Ben, who is our easy option. So here, you've got to step forward, coming down onto the heel firstly, onto the toes at the back and powering out in front. We then come to Nathan in the middle here. He's stepping forward again, exactly the same movement, but there's a weight in there. And remember, we always say, although you can see Nathan here is using a medicine ball, anything at home you've got for weight, tins, bottles, whatever. So we had Harlem Globetrotter number 1, we had Harlem Globetrotter number 2, now we come to Hall Green Globetrotter here. Here he is. So it's that lunge again. So step forward with a lunge down and power through. So, very similar to the bowls movement, for the harder option. You ready? Let's go. Focus on your foot placement with this. So, as you step forward, heel comes down, you come down onto the toe, onto your toes at the back foot, and then power through that front heel to bring yourself back up. Arms staying straight as you power away, but not letting the elbows lock out, and the back stays straight as well. So there's no hinging from the hip. Okay? You're keeping the back straight, so you're protecting your lower back. Changing leg every time. Now again, certainly with this one, you can switch quite easily from medium to hard. You take that deeper lunge out, you take the pause out from the hard, and here you are back at medium. You add it in, and you move from medium to hard, okay? The switch between the medium and the easy to the medium is not as easy, believe it or not, because you have an addition of weight in there. But even though there's no weight here, we're still using body resistance. So Ben is resisting against the weight there. He's not just pushing away. He's imagining there's some force there. So picture yourself pushing something away from you. Rugby. Rugby is where we're going with our next station. This is station number 5. Easy option is with Lee. So, here we go, Lee. What we got? So it's that sideways lunge look. Come back a bit further so you can see. So stepping out onto the heel, putting the foot down because we're going sideways. So heel first, down onto the toe. There's a rotation within there, so onto the toes at the back with the other foot, and then pushing away. We take it to Ben, and there's the addition of a wrongly shaped ball there. Balls are supposed to be a different shape, Ruby, aren't they? There we go. See, I do know something about sport. There we go. But the same movement, there's just an addition of a weight in there. And although Ben is using the ball, it doesn't have to be. It can be a weight. Just make sure you've got a good grip of it. Okay, and then we come to Nathan, who's in our higher position. And can you see the difference? It's a bigger move. So we're adding the extra impetus there and the extra intensity by making that a bigger move, but still staying within his limits. Yeah? Okay, you ready? Let's go! Minutes, off we go. Think about your foot placement, think about your back. So as you're twisting, let's have a look at this twist here, look. The back is still staying straight. And if we come across here, look, we can see it's exactly the same. Now, I'm just going to come back down here. Keep going. Look at this. Oh, they've gone out of it now. They were perfectly in tune, perfectly in line. It was like watching a synchronised swimming team. So, the back is straight, the twist is through there. Coming onto that back foot so that you can see that they're not letting the knee twist. Certainly as far as Lee is concerned, because there's a real twist in there. But can you see the difference here? There's a firm placement. The foot is going to a different angle as it comes out to the side. So that's your twist that's allowing that for you, yeah? you're not letting the knee twist. We're lining the foot up so that we can naturally come across to a different position, but here with Lee, there's an actual full twist in there. So you need to come onto the toes. Okay, boxing, here we go. Round one. In the blue corner, we have Nathan the Nailer, ready to go for it. There you go, so there's your box. Oh, a little bit, he's going for it here. Uppercut and boxing going for it. A jab, that's the word I'm looking for, isn't it? That's the word I'm looking for. Trying to keep the elbows up, trying to keep the elbows in as well, so keeping guard there. Can you see how the feet are moving? That's serious, yeah? Keep the feet moving so you're not just working the upper body. Here we come to Lee. We need to think of a name for Lee. Very seriously. You alright? But again, we've got that uppercut, we've got that jab there, feet still moving. The addition is there's weight in there, and then we come to Ben the Bruiser you're not from Brownsover as well, are you? I know you're from rugby. Are you from Brownsover? Yeah. Ben the Bruiser from Brownsover. Brilliant. Here we go. Oh, Dave. Brilliant. Sorry. I forgot you were doing it. So can you see how the stance is different? The stance here is in a split stance. I'm going to give you 30-second shout out so you can change your leg. With the medium and the medium and the easier option, the feet are flat on the floor. And it's just the punching movement with feet movement. When we get to the harder option, we've got that split stance. Are you ready? Let's take it away. And we're going for it. Brilliant. So, feet moving in all seriousness. I want you to have a look at posture again. I know I keep going on about posture, but it's so important. Protecting your back, protecting your lower back, protecting your upper back. You see how the back is straight for all three of the guys here. And they're just taking that jabbing motion out and that uppercut in. The additional weight in as far as the medium option is concerned, we've still got that jab out and that punch upwards. And then we're coming to our 30 seconds to change your leg over in that split stance. Again, can you see the split stance? Onto the toes at the back, front foot is flat on the floor. Again, good strong upright posture with all three. And the weight is there again for that third option. Now, although there's no weight involved here as far as Nathan is concerned, it's a controlled movement, so there's some resistance being added in there. It's not just a case of throwing the arms out and throwing them up. There's some thought behind it, and there's some resistance behind it. That is your minute. Well done, everybody. We come to our last one. This is our volleyball. Again, this is going to be good. So, three options again. We have an easy option, we have a medium option. I'm just having a drink of water. And we have a hard option. Volleyball. Here we go then. So Ben is in our easy position, and it's the, what do they call this movement in volleyball? It's the spike is down, the spike's down, isn't it? What's this bit? Is this the spike as well? It's a serve, isn't it? They use this for a serve, but also when the ball comes back over the net, they might use this to actually keep it in the court. And it has got a name and I can't remember, but you've got a spike coming in in this as well. Ben's added the spike in, there you go, look, as we talk. And a cheeky smile to the side as well. One for the ladies there. We come to our medium option. And it's exactly the same move, look, but it's a little bit deeper. So there's a bigger range of motion there. And then we come to Lee, who's going to bring us all the way home with this one. So can you see the lift onto the toes, the power? Can you see how we're lifting onto the toes? I want you to see those toes. And I want you to see this expression. Look at that. Look at that. The determination on that page. Giving it his all. Giving it his all. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Right, so this serve or response or whatever it's called, I'll look the name up. I'll look it up for later. And then the spike on the end. Slightly less of a deeper, so it's not as deep, that's the word I'm looking for, not as deep as far as Ben is concerned, but the position and the move is exactly the same for all three. Shallow, that's the word I'm looking for, thank you Ben. Brain's gone to fizz today. It's Wednesday evening, it's hump day, isn't it? There we go, a little bit deeper as far as Nathan is concerned, and then a bit deeper again, but you could keep it the same depth as Nathan was. just by adding this little lift onto the toes is giving you that extra in impetus there and that extra intensity within that move as well. Focus on keeping the back straight for us. Bend from the knees, don't let the knees lock out. That is your end of circuit number 1. Okay, that's your first time round. So what I want you to do is have a little march on the spot, grab yourself a drink, pay a visit, anything you need to do, but keep the feet moving for us, okay? Don't stop. Now, second round. If you can, try and take it to the next level. Try and go up. And there are a couple of moves in there for sure that don't utilize any weight. So you can easily move up and down through those levels. See how they feel though, okay? What I want you to be doing is thinking about your RPE scale. So RPE wise, we're looking at around about 12, 13, 14 to hit, yeah? So think about hitting that mark for me, all right? Have a drink, have a pay a visit, whatever you need to do, but keep the feet moving for me, yeah? Don't stop. We're gonna go through it all again. Now you know what the moves are this time, yeah? You know what the sports are. Nothing's gonna change, but you can change the way that you do it. You can take it a little bit deeper. You can take it a little bit harder. You can relax it off. You could go up and down through those levels as you feel comfortable. Work within your own limits. Remember, as I always say, the range of motion and the speed that you do is the right one. It's what's right for you that matters. Okay? So let's bring everybody back in then and let's go through it again. So we have bowls, golf, football, basketball, rugby, boxing and volleyball. Yep. We're going to start with our bowls. So here we are. Then in our base option, in our easy option, it's that step forward onto the heel, planting the foot, bringing up onto the toes at the back and bowling through with that arm. Changing arm every time, changing leg every time. Here the addition of a weight and the weight changes from side to side. Again, remember, if you don't have a weight at home, a traditional weight, then you can use anything. Here to our harder option, we take it to a little bit of a lunge in there. So there's a bit of a pause this time. The other two are a bit more continuous movement. Bit of a pause and a definite lunge in there. Okay, minute of this. Are you ready? Let's go. So, again, posture. I know I keep going on about it. Back is straight. Can you see how those backs are straight? Have a look at the foot placement. This is really important. So, onto the toes at the back is stepping forward. The heel is coming down first and then powering through that heel to come to a standing position. Now, as I said, you may not have a traditional weight at home, but you can use anything you've got to hand. A tin of beans, tin of peas, a small bag of potatoes, a bigger bag of potatoes, bottles, as long as they haven't got wine in them, or beer. If you think of a 4-pint bottle of milk, okay, once you've got rid of the milk, give it a wash out. If you fill it with water, that's going to be 2.5 kilograms, okay? If you fill it with sand or soil or pebbles or anything like that, it's going to be heavier. Just weigh it beforehand, make sure, okay? Whatever you've got, make sure it's secure. So if you're using something from around the house, make sure it's secure so it's not going to spill, the contents aren't going to go everywhere. Okay, golf is our second one. Okay, so we're going to go into a game of golf. And here we go. So we have our easy option, which is a wall with a chair. No, there, here's Lee. Sorry, I had to look away from it. So there's your swing from the hips look. Hands are staying together and we're swinging through. So we've got that movement through the central part of the body. We add a weight in, and again we've got that twist here. Yeah, can you see how both Lee and Ben have been coming up onto the balls of their foot as they rotate through? Yeah, we come to Nathan here, and again you've got that rotation, but this time the leg is actually lifting off the floor. So the leg that lifts off the floor is the opposite way to the way that the arms are swinging, so that the balance is there for me. And for you. Okay, you ready? A minute, off we go. So, in all seriousness, remember this foot placement. If you try and do this and keep your feet on the floor, you're going to twist through your knee. Now, I won't get Lee to show us that because it's tough on your knees, but Ben, I'm sure, will show us. Just keep your foot flat on the floor. Can you see how the knee is affected? Thank you. So by lifting the foot up, you're actually protecting that knee joint. If you keep your foot flat on the floor, when you do that twist, it's all going through the knee joint, and the knee's not meant to do that. It's meant to bend forward and backwards. It's not meant to go sideways. So let's protect it. Brilliant. We're keeping going, we're keeping the flow going. Now all three, it's a continuous movement. It's just the level that is different, and the level is achieved through the addition of a weight, firstly, and then the addition of bringing the leg up off the floor. There doesn't necessarily have to be a difference between weight. I think there is here. The guys have got a different weight, but that's not the thing that on its own that's going to add extra into that, make it the intensity greater. The fact that you're balancing on one leg is going to increase that intensity. Right, we're moving on to our football. So we'll start with our harder option first. Our harder option is, we'll go to easy first then. We'll go down to our easy option first. So our easy option is with Nathan. So again, it's that shift of weight from side to side. Foot staying firmly on the floor, knee staying slightly soft, and the kick is towards the front. We then come to our medium option, and this is Lee, and we've got that step across from side to side. So a real transfer of weight from side to side, and the kick comes diagonally with a twist through the waist. We then come into our harder option here, and we've got that shift of weight again. The step itself though, from side to side, is a squat. So you've got to squat down and then a kick out to the side. How are we all doing, guys? You okay? It's warm in here today. This evening it is warm. Right, are you ready? Let's go. Off we go for a minute of this. So, whatever day you've had today, folks, if you've had a good day, this is going to be a relaxing movement for you. If you've had a tough day, then just picture somebody in front of you as you kick that leg out in front. Someone who's annoyed you. Take it out on nothing, not on each other. Brilliant. Shifting that weight from side to side. So this shift of weight, again, we do this in everyday life, don't we? As we're walking, we're shifting our weight from side to side. As we're in the kitchen, if we pick something up off the work surface, we shift that weight from side to side. Sat at your desk or walking around at work, if you're picking something up, there's a weight shift within there. So a great activity here for you. And because we're focusing onto the leg, you're getting a lot of activity here into your hip flexor. Now, here as far as Nathan is concerned, so I just had to swallow then. As far as Nathan is concerned, we're into our hip flexor particularly. When we come across here, we've got hip flexor movement, we've also got some adductor movement and some abductor movement as well. Moving on, sorry, I'm in your way. Basketball is our next one. Okay, so again, we've got our three options. We've got an easier option, we've got a medium option, we've got a harder option. Our easier option is with Ben, and it's that step forward and pushing away in front, okay? We then come to Nathan, who's in our intermediate position here, and a step forward again, but there's a weight added in this time, okay? So same movement, but a weight added in. We come to Lee, and again, we've got that lunge in there. So there's a bit of a pause on this one. There's the step forward, there's the lunge down, and then there's the push, okay? It's a more of a fluid movement as far as your easier and your intermediate option is concerned. All right, with a minute to go, let's do this. Off we go. So, foot placement. Down onto the heel first, onto the toes and the ball of the foot, so the foot's flat at the front at the end of the movement. At the back, coming onto the toes. Shoulders are staying about chest height if they can, okay? If you need to take a break, you can take the arms out. You could keep them in close to you, but try and keep moving all the time. All right, try and keep that movement going. So exactly the same in our intermediate, we've just got that addition of the weight added in there, still staying about chest height. And then when we come to our higher option, just for a last glance at this one, there's the step forward with a definite pause. It still goes heel toe. There's the drop of the knee back down with the foot onto the toes, and then the stepping back up. You power out of that front leg, okay? So in your lunge, you push up through the ball of the foot and the heel to bring yourself back up to a standing position. Back is staying tall, we're staying lifted, we're still staying tall. Great job, everybody. Moving on to our rugby. Okay, so it's a pass basically. It's a pass that we've got here. The pass always goes from across to the side and backwards in rugby. So there we go. We've got that stepping out to the side and twisting motion. Have a look at Lee's foot placement. Heel comes down first, then onto the ball. He centres himself, in the middle, and as he steps out, he balances himself before he takes the arms away. We come into bend in the middle here, and exactly the same motion. There's just a weight added into it. So there's an actual ball added in this case, but again, it can be whatever you've got at home. Still foot placement, heel comes down first. Then we take it to our higher option, and it's a more continuous movement, an actual definite shift of the weight with a step. So can you see how the feet are moving here, okay? So there's that slide of the foot across. All right, brilliant. So, a minute to go. Let's do it. Off we go. So, easier option. The step out, the plant, the turn, and the arm extension. Yep, individualized. Exactly the same there as far as Ben is concerned, but with that weight in it. So you've got the movements. Look, there's the step. There's the throw out of the ball. There's the bringing it back in. So extension of the arms. We come to Nathan on our higher option here, and it's a continuous movement. So there's no real stop to it. It's that move from side to side. Knees are staying bent the whole time. The weight is shifting from side to side. There's a hinge from the hip with all of them as they come out to the side and as they extend away. The back is staying straight. Have a look at the shoulders, they're back and down across the board. So good, strong shoulders. Lifting that chest, staying focused as far as posture is concerned. Working with your own limits as well. So again, remember the range that you choose is the right one. Okay, that is your minute. Moving on, we're going into our boxing. Where am I? We're going into our boxing. Okay? So, we have Nathan here in our first option. Sorry, let's take a breath now. So Nathan's here with the uppercut and the jab, feet moving the whole time, staying back, shoulders high. Can you see how the feet are slightly staggered? But it's not a split stance in total. That helps as far as the balance is concerned. So, there we have Nathan the Nailer. We have Lee, the League Hall legend here. I was desperately trying to think of a Birmingham Lee, a Birmingham L. It came to me eventually. So, exactly the same movement, but there's weight added in there. Can you see again, the feet are slightly staggered, so there's that good balance there, okay? We're coming into Ben the Bruiser from Brownsville. Browns over, that's it. There we go. There's a split stance this time. There's the big difference, okay? So onto the toes at the back, the weight is through the front. Can you see how the knee's bent at the front, so he's not locking that front knee out as well as balance is there. With that last option, you get your 30 second shout out, so you can change your lead leg. Are you ready? Off we go. So, with all three, again, look, back is straight, shoulders are back and down, standing tall, yeah? Drawing the abs in, so try and pull the belly button in towards the base of the spine, so you're engaging your core there. Your core is going to help as far as your balance is concerned, yeah? Any little minor movements we make throughout the day to make ourselves balanced, your core is involved in that. Your core is involved in so much during the day. Here's your 30 seconds to change over your lead leg. Brilliant. And here you can see that movement with all three, jabs and uppercuts, yeah? So probably 4 jabs forward and then 4 uppercuts. Keeping it continuous, keeping it moving, keep breathing throughout, keep the posture strong and keep focusing on your technique. Don't lose the technique. If you start to feel you're losing your technique, then slow down or drop one of the movements for a second. Regain your technique and away you go again. Get your composure back so that you go. We want to make sure that your technique is good so you protect all the parts of your body. Your last one for tonight, volleyball. So, again, 3 options. You have your easy option, you have your intermediate, and you have your harder option. Benny's in our easier option today. So there's the serve type motion or the catch or the volley or whatever it's called with the spike on the end. Yeah, okay. And then we have Nathan in the middle, exactly the same, but it's a deeper move, yeah? Can you see the depth of that move? Coming down a bit lower. Then we come to Lee, and Lee here has got exactly the same move, but we've got that pulsion up onto the balls of the feet. Now, I want you to have a quick look here. Can you see how the feet, yeah, can you see that crease in his shoes? Thank you, Lee. The reason I wanted to show you that is because when you come onto your toes, what you need to do is make sure you come onto the big toe and the second toe, Don't come out onto the side of your feet because then you're putting pressure onto your ankles. Are we ready? Let's do this. Last one, folks. Come on, we can do this. Right, so hinging from the hip, going into a squat motion, yeah? Knees no further forward, no shoes. Can you see that all the way along? The knees aren't coming further forward than the shoes. You've got the depth of movement added in as far as Nathan is concerned, and then you've got raising up onto the toes as far as Lee is concerned. So this is another great one. You can go from your hard option here down to the medium just by taking that lift onto the toes out. You can go from your medium to your easy by taking it not so deep, so making it shallower, okay? And vice versa, coming up through it, you can add depth in. You can add the toe lift in there as well, and that will give you extra impulsion within there. It will give you extra intensity. So lots of opportunities there for you to try out a different level. This is a great workout into your quads. You get a lot of work into the quads in there, and you get a lot of work into the shoulders. There you go, that is your minute. Great job, everybody. That is your circuit for a Wednesday evening. Wednesday the 19th. We will be back with you on Tuesday next week for your circuit, and Wednesday the week after, not Wednesday the week after, Wednesday that week as well for another circuit. And don't forget, on Friday this week, you'll have your Monty's Magical Move. Is it Monty's Magical Movement or Movements? Monty's Magical Movements. Now, I didn't come up with a name for that. I'm gonna lay it straight out there, okay? But yeah, Monty's Magical Movements. It's about three-dimensional moves, and we do three-dimensional movements all the time, yeah? But it's about thinking about them. It's about experiencing how they feel, what part of our body is supporting us, what part of our body is moving, where is that balance coming from, and giving the brain a chance to memorize those movements and memorize the muscle movements as well. Okay, so we will see you next Tuesday for another circuit. So say goodbye to the guys. So bye from Lee, bye from Nathan, and bye from Ben. You're going to cool down now. So as you can see here, everybody is walking around. Yeah, and I need you to do that for at least 5 minutes, to not necessarily walk around, but to have a cool down. So you might want to be marching on the spot. The thing that you need to remember is the intensity starts higher and comes down gradually, all right? You're trying to bring yourself back to your pre-exercise state. So you're getting your breathing back to normal. You're getting your heart rate back to normal. So whatever pace you start at, start to bring it down over a period of about 5 minutes. Get your breathing back to normal. Get your heart rate back to normal. Get yourself hydrated. At least 5 minutes for that cool down, folks, for me, okay? You might need longer as well. It depends how high you took yourself as far as that is concerned. Where you are at the end, think about that and think about how long you need to get yourself back to where you were. We'll say one more goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you next Tuesday for your next circuit. And I'll see you on Friday for your magical movements. Take care, everybody. Bye.